All right, guys, we just finished up the Royal Rumble. Please don't. Can we not? I edited Tuesday's show for almost an hour. Can I not have to edit?
I was just gonna say, what a great show.
Okay, good. I'm glad. We are literally just minutes post air of the Royal Rumble 2023. Let's work in reverse, because I feel like what we just watched was one of the best things I watched in a long time, storytelling wise.
The Hardy performance.
Oh my gosh, just legendary. They should put that guy in and I know like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has all these rules and credentials for being entered into the Hall of Fame, but I feel like they should just bypass
at least the WWE Hall of Fame, like the celebrity wing.
I mean,
Hardy has a spot there
Kid
already.
Rock is in.
Yeah, let's put him in. Let's put him in right away.
Is that the worst wrestling performance we've seen?
Yes.
Easily.
Yes. Not even just wrestling, like
It's the worst
performances. It's up there.
So, Ryan, I know we talked, and we may be talking in the future, because I can't remember which show it was on, but we've discussed Sheryl Crow at times on this program.
You want me to say it tonight, don't you?
Hardy or Sheryl Crow?
Hardy every day.
I'm seeing where we were at. No, let's talk about the post match. Roman Reigns successfully defends the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship
To the surprise of everyone.
to the surprise. 19 minutes and 15 seconds. Probably one of his shorter title defenses, I feel like, in this run. But the post match definitely not short. But we saw Sami Zayn pull the trigger and hit Roman in the back. Roman solo. Jimmy Uso then attacks Sami Zayn as Kevin Owens handcuffed to the ropes, but Jay walks out on the bloodline. Man, I feel like there's so much to digest here. What do you guys think?
There is a ton to digest. I mean, this is storytelling 101, and everybody played a role. Even Paul Heyman. I think you didn't say Paul Heyman, but like Paul Heyman watching in shock as Sami Zayn turns his back, and then in a bit of relief how the bloodline retaliates, and then shock again to see Jay walk away. I don't know. We all have siblings. Like, Jay didn't turn his back necessarily and fight Roman Reigns or stop Roman Reigns. Jay just had a conflict of interest and left.
Yeah, he left.
The story of it is Jay still with the bloodline is a great story. We'll find that out over the next few weeks on SmackDown.
Yeah. Like if your brother is fighting your best friend,
what do you do?
What do you do? Maybe you're just overwhelmed in that situation and you just walk away to digest.
Just remain neutral.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. Like we all have siblings here. We all have best friends here. I think there are times in relationships where you spend more time with friends. You spend like at times like your relationship with your brother or your sister is special and unbreakable. But there are times where I think you will feel closer to your friends.
Sure.
Because of distance, because of just life getting in the way.
Because of brothers giving each other wet bottoms. I mean, there's
any number of things that can cause it. So yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you can have that conflict of who am I closer with? Who do I feel closer to? And yeah, maybe that's what we saw.
I think we all saw, though, that we now know Roman Reigns was closer to Seth Rollins than he ever was to Sami Zayn, because the chair shot didn't also break his heart. He was able to recover that pretty quick.
True.
Or Sami just doesn't swing as hard as Seth.
That could be it. I don't think Roman has recovered from the Seth Rollins chair shot to this day.
It's a great callback either way. I mean, it
felt very Seth
it is
like.
Right.
There was a tweet I saw from Stat Guy Greg. It's a guy we've interacted with
Greg?
regularly. Stat Guy Greg.
Greg's a good guy.
It's a stat guy.
Stat Guy.
Oh, Stat Guy.
Stat Guy Greg.
Yeah.
It says this is the best storyline I've ever experienced as a wrestling fan in over 35 years. Brilliant,
all right, well,
brilliance in every step of the way. It'll only get better at Elimination Chamber in 3 weeks. Roman is walking into a hornet's nest. Sami is going to be treated like a god. Yeah, I mean,
The only thing I feel like that's mirrored this in recent times is the corporate ministry sort of storyline from the Attitude Era that was long running, involving major players, and consumed a ton of time on television. This is the only storyline I can think.
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have the greatest memory of the group, that's for sure. But is there anything that you can remember that's lasted as long? That's dealt with top tier talent and has consumed storyline time on television and pay per view, building pay per views around
I can't.
this feud.
Not to this magnitude. No.
Because I mean, like, I feel like through the Attitude Era, you had like little storylines that you could always dip back into. Rock Triple H, Rock Austin McMahon. But yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, this in a way goes back to the Thunderdome and SummerSlam.
This is a long time.
Like it's a year and a half plus that we're over 900 days with him as champion. Like I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, maybe.
I mean, if you talk about storyline,
is it the Mega Powers?
That's what I was thinking. The Mega Powers. Hogan and Savage. That was about a 2-year kind of build from start to finish. That's close.
I mean, you can make the argument that this started the night Seth Rollins swung that chair and broke up the Shield.
I mean, in a way,
To an extent,
yeah.
sure.
Like it's because you've had.
I mean, tonight's chair shot felt like that. Like that's,
Yeah, I mean, it's so. I think so. When a little bit before the Rumble started, we had seen a tweet, and it was that Fightful had reported that the match lineup for tonight was going to be Men's Rumble, Pitch Black, Raw Women's Champion, Women's Rumble, and then the main event for the Universal title. And we started like hypothesizing. We're like, okay, Cody probably wins the Rumble. Roman retains. We get The Rock after the match. So obviously we didn't get The Rock tonight. But
what a great spot for the WWE to be in right now. Like The Rock has said, nope, not ready. Everybody's like, okay. Roman Reigns goes on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and says, no, Dwayne's not ready. They're telling us he's not fucking ready.
Right.
And because you're a wrestling fan, you're waiting to get swerved.
everything's a work.
Everything's a work.
Swerve.
Dwayne, you don't need Dwayne.
You don't, but how does Cody fit into this now?
He won the Rumble.
Right, I get that.
That's it.
But that I think is the only hiccup for me in terms of everything that happened tonight is Cody's going to be shoehorned into this storyline that could have had a better build with someone else, someone from the bloodline possibly winning. You think they're just going to do the job for Roman. Now we have uncertainty around that.
So I feel like you have the certainty of Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and that's all you need. And then you have 2 months to continue the storyline with the bloodline crumbling.
Sure.
And if you want to involve The Rock, you just have Sami Zayn say, you're not the head of the table, this guy is.
So here's my question. Because from the time Cody returned, he said he wants to win the title that his dad never won, the WWE Championship. So we've all kind of guessed or predicted or hoped, maybe depending on how you feel about the unified championships, that at WrestleMania they're going to split. So let's play it out a little bit here and say that Cody's going to come out Monday and be like, I want to fight for the WWE Championship. Does the Elimination Chamber then maybe determine who the other half could be, and Jey Uso could put himself in that chamber match? Could Jey Uso be the guy to fight for the Universal title at this point? And Jimmy and Solo defend? Because we've now seen the Freebird rule kind of in effect with these tag titles.
I'm going to steal another mint if you don't.
Yeah, no,
mind.
absolutely.
I just keep eyeing them up, and
Feel
I just want
free.
to suck on something.
So and because it kind of Sammy's kind of made his choice in a way that he is kind of taking he's kind of taking Roman's side here. It's a good sound.
We're handing him around.
Passing him around.
Smokey.
Could you see Sammy KO versus Solo and Jimmy Uso for the tag titles, and Jay's facing Roman in the in one of the main events at WrestleMania?
You could.
I feel like there's so many ways we can go with this.
Maybe you don't see a tag match at all. Maybe
That's
Kevin
just
Owens
why I feel like the Cody thing is tough, because that's not what the fans will want to see right now. They'll want to see what's going on with the Bloodline storyline, and Cody's just kind of there for the ride.
I mean, Cody got a great pop tonight. His win got a great pop.
Absolutely.
He did.
Wasn't as loud as Sammy's.
No.
Sammy's white fucking hot.
White hot.
The fuck you Roman chants.
Never heard that before.
Yeah, no.
He beat The Undertaker at a WrestleMania and got booed out
He
of
got
the
booed
building.
out of the building.
Never heard a fuck you Roman.
Right. The next night on Raw, Raw after Mania, he had to wait till minute 13 of Raw to be able to get "This is my yard now." There was no "fuck you
great.
Roman."
Nope.
It was just booze.
This was Roman's hot.
Yeah.
And Roman was that tweener Roman that you acknowledge Roman Reigns. It's cool to like the bad guy.
not anymore.
Not anymore, dude.
Nope, he's a
Absolutely
heel.
not. He's a full-blown
This
heel.
full-blown
I
heel.
always saw it earlier. Jim refused to even acknowledge him when Heyman said
We
for
saw
everyone
it.
to. Yeah.
It's where it started. I guess I'm the reason.
Jim
that,
claimed he was on his phone, but that finger didn't go up.
Normally, when Jim hears the name Roman Reigns or the word "acknowledge," his finger just automatically
Something
shoots
goes
up
up.
into the.
my wife.
shoots up.
Never mind. But yeah, no. I thought that the match was fine. I don't think the match was anything special. The match got us.
Roman KO?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It wasn't even their best match,
No.
Nope.
but it got us to where we needed to be.
And
For
you
the
saw the
post-match.
story the whole time. Sammy was conflicted the
Mm-hmm.
entire time.
Yeah.
Sammy was looking nervous, Mark.
He was looking nervous. I would dare say he was more nervous than maybe a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
That nervous.
That's extremely nervous.
But yeah, I think so. 2 nights from now, well, I guess a day and a half from now, when Monday Night Raw goes on the air, is it the Bloodline, or is it the American Nightmare that kicks off Raw?
I think
Nightmare.
I think the Nightmare.
I think he has
think
to
Cody
throw down
has
his
to
challenge,
call.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what is the official rule? He has to say which title he is going for, correct?
He could challenge Braun Breaker.
He could.
He could.
I guess he could. I mean, we saw the Money in the Bank cashed in on the U.S. title this year.
Does it guarantee you a shot at the Universal or World Championship, or just the main event at WrestleMania?
According to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia never lies, 30-man Royal Rumble match for a World Championship match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
So it doesn't guarantee you the main event, even.
Okay, that's true.
Correct.
But it could guarantee you Roman Reigns or really Braun Breaker. That's the only other world champion.
Right. I mean, I
ever.
guess now that there's 2 Rumbles, they can't say the men always get the main event.
that's fair.
So that's probably why it's
Right, the
worded
ladies
that way.
main evented in East Rutherford.
Yeah.
Well, and there's 2 nights of Mania now too. So,
That's fair.
but I don't know that Cody has to declare on Monday. I don't think
He doesn't have to do it immediately,
Right.
but he does eventually have to say, I am
Yes.
challenging for
But,
this
Yeah,
title.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And he has to do that before Mania.
But I mean, currently they're treating it as the undisputed, as two or one.
Two are right.
So right now,
And unified champion.
right now, it's the idea is as presented is Cody versus Roman.
So if you're Cody Rhodes and you challenge, and they're presented as 2 as 1, why would you just say I want the world championship? Like, why would you say I don't want the Universal Championship? I want to beat Roman Reigns.
Well, I guess
and only
I
take
guess right
half
now
of
he
his
doesn't have to
straps.
declare. Then I guess
Like, it just seems silly.
he
you
would
know what
just
I mean?
come
Like,
out
why would
and
you?
talk about his match.
With Roman.
Getting his
Assuming
shot.
Roman has the title still at that
Yeah,
point.
like so Monday he would come out and just I'm getting my shot for the title. So yeah, I guess he wouldn't because right now they're unified.
What does the Elimination Chamber guarantee you?
I don't think
A cheap pay-per-view.
No, like winner of Elimination Chamber gets something, correct? They used to have like belts on the line, or
see if
there
it
was a
says anything.
contendership.
Pants on the ground.
Wouldn't it be the title before it was unified? It was the other title.
Is that what was happening?
Yeah.
It used to be for a contender spot,
Okay.
I believe, and then they started mixing in. You can actually win the belts in the elimination.
So
chamber.
last year, because they were split, it was they had an elimination chamber match for the Raw Women's title, an elimination chamber match for the WWE title.
Okay.
That was at the show in Saudi Arabia. That's right. The elimination chamber was in Saudi Arabia last year.
That's right. That's why I didn't watch
Oh
it.
boy.
Oh my!
Didn't ring a bell. Yeah.
Let's see. The year before, that would have been in the pandemic one, but
Damn panic.
they had elimination chamber match for an immediate Universal Championship match. That's right, Daniel Bryan, and then he lost to Roman. Then they had an elimination chamber match for the WWE Championship. So yeah, it has been for titles.
Titles.
It's just so
in the
shitty.
past.
Like you don't need to. You have Cody Rhodes as a viable champion or challenger to Roman Reigns. You clearly have Sami Zayn as a challenger. You don't need to have another.
Well, you don't. They.
So then
I mean, they
let's-
could make one of their elimination chamber matches a tag one, but
So
still,
here,
that involves
2020,
Usos.
which wildly was like the night was
Right
the last
before
pay-per-view
everything
before the
happened.
pandemic. The one elimination chamber match was for the SmackDown tag titles.
Okay.
And one was for a Raw Women's Championship match at Mania.
Okay.
So that one has kind of everything in there.
Yeah.
A t-
And you could do that,
contendership and
whoever-
a tag title.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripples doesn't challenge.
Right.
You can women's for the other women's championship, and you could probably just do the 3 members of the Bloodline versus 3 members, and just have a blow off match there, and settle that in a chamber style
So
match.
Rhea can challenge either Raw or SmackDown, correct? With her
Yes.
Rumble win?
Yeah, she can. I would assume it's going to be Raw because she's on Raw and Judgment Day's on Raw, but we don't know for sure. She could
We
want to
also
get back at
we also
Charlotte.
saw Charlotte Rhea at a Mania. That was a
Yeah, for the
pandemic
NXT.
Mania.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good as I'd hoped it would have been.
No,
No.
I think it would be better today.
Probably.
Yes.
I think Rhea is a much more confident superstar than she was in 2020.
Yes.
And also that pay-per-view was just kind of weird.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
general.
that's a
felt
hard
weird.
play.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, any other thoughts on the Roman main event?
that crowd sat through 4 hours of professional wrestling. It was hot as hell
They were.
to end that pay-per-view on a long segment.
And
it took us a while
Dude,
to get to that payoff.
I would love to see, and maybe like between now and when we are live on Thursday, because we'll get some more reactions once we're back with Tim.
Sure.
I know he's currently recording with Mark as his viewer's choice, so make sure you hop over and check that out as well. But
And that's on with the up, down, AABB,
Something-
Konami code.
just go to @NotTheToolMan, and I'm
that
sure you'll
okay?
be able to find it.
Forward,
for,
backward, BA start.
Yes,
Star,
one of
is that
those.
what it is?
But I maybe I'll go back and do a timestamp on from the end of the match to the end of the show and see what the time frame there is, because I feel like that may even be longer than the match itself at 19 minutes.
Might be.
It might be.
Plus, that crowd sat through that Hardy performance.
Holy
So,
crap!
I mean-
Let's-
when you go from such a high like that Hardy performance, it's hard to stick with it through a match. So let's-
Temper expectations.
I wish I was high during that hard.
I wish. So let's work backwards. We'll go now to the women's Royal Rumble match. We saw Rhea Ripley go number 1. She goes all the way. She wins the.
Mark, didn't you say you'd like to see Rhea Ripley go number 1?
Absolutely.
Oh boy. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 3 seconds was the time on the match. Rhea finished with the most eliminations at 7.
Oh, okay.
Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky all had 5 eliminations each. Liv Morgan also went the distance. Last competitor eliminated there. She had 3 eliminations along with Asuka, Raquel, Sonya. But I think we all kind of agreed on Thursday that Rhea was going to be it.
The easy choice.
I feel like
there.
I think we all agreed that Cody and Rhea were both going to be the easy
Right.
choice.
Yeah.
And then it's just how much you think the WWE is going to swerve what you think is going to happen.
Bro.
So
And
no
they really
swerves.
didn't.
Surprise, like the real surprise entrances in this one. Indy Hartwell from NXT. Chelsea Green returning to the WWE in and out in 4 seconds.
Record setter.
Michelle McCool from the front row.
Mother of the Year.
Nia Jax
There it is.
There you go.
returns. In the number 30 spot.
The one everyone was waiting for.
She's not like most.
Thank goodness.
Piper Niven, no longer Dewdrop, made her return
Thank goodness again.
as well. But no.
We didn't even see Piper and like Nia really even get into it.
Yeah.
Which is something I thought we would see some
Why is that, Ryan?
They're both women.
big beefy women slapping meats. I don't know.
But yeah, as far as Rumbles go, I mean, I thought both Rumbles seemed to pace really well, and I think you commented, Ryan,
That men's rumble I thought flew.
like the length of the ramp kind of ate up a lot of that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a Triple H versus Vince thing. I didn't feel like there was a lot of like long storyline that kind of drug the entrance into Titan time too much.
Yeah, that's
I
a
feel
fair
like
point.
they were all pretty close to the 90 seconds, I believe it was.
Yeah, I mean, you get excited when that clock comes up at 10 seconds. So you lose 10 seconds, then you lose the entrance, and then the actual ramp is long, so you lose 45
like
seconds.
I've asked Mike and Joe from Take Three. They've
Take Three
both
fellas.
been at Royal Rumbles live, and I
Okay.
said, is there any clock anywhere that's counting things down before the 10 seconds? And they said no.
No, it's absolutely a work.
Because it's all Titan time.
Right.
Because I think the AEW ones, when they do the Casino Battle Royale, it's a 5-minute clock, and they put it up running the whole time. So
That's not smart.
It's not smart.
When you can control that, I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that I have a whole lot to say.
I don't think the women's rumble was great. I don't think it was very eventful.
Not a lot of surprise entrants. I think that we were expecting more, given
Yeah.
how few were announced going in.
a
I
new
like that
look
there
for
wasn't-
Asuka.
There wasn't a ton of those throwback women that like this is the
Yeah, it was
there's no
Michelle
Molly
McCool.
Holly.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just
they
the
did a good
no-
job trying to build some storylines, setting up some things for Mania. You have Bailey and Becky's whole feud still ongoing, which is going to lead to something, I'm sure. But that was really the only memorable storyline that I remember coming out of that. And then Nia's back, which
Cool.
I mean, I know
The
you're
thing is,
happy,
I'm
Ryan, because you have
absolutely
multiple
not.
Nia Jax shirts.
Like I know
but-
I bought that the new Cody shirt, but I think you already went on and bought the new Irresistible Force.
Absolutely not.
You didn't?
There's no chance.
Oh, I bought
in
it
hell
for
that
you. That's what I.
happens.
Never mind. That's
There's no chance.
uh,
Here's the deal. I'm not that I'm surprised that Rhea Ripley won, but I also wouldn't have been shocked if Rhea Ripley didn't win and we see Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley at a WrestleMania, because they laid some groundwork for that already.
They did,
and
yeah.
that could be something we see at the Elimination Chamber because there is a pay-per-view
sure,
in
yeah.
between, and then that's a short story to tell. But yeah, I don't know. Good for Rhea Ripley.
yeah, definitely.
I'm happy for Mommy. Mommy?
Mommy.
Mommy.
Bianca and Alexa, 7 minutes 35 seconds.
It was an okay match, I thought.
It was-
If we get Demon Alexa back, though, I think that's probably the most intriguing thing that came out of that match.
Yeah,
I think most people expected Bianca to retain.
yeah.
Yeah, no
And-
surprise.
Alexa needs something coming out of this, because ever since she's lost that gimmick, she's just kind of been
There.
wandering for
Yeah.
something new. So I think getting her back to what was successful in terms of getting her over with the crowd, and she seemed to really enjoy being in that storyline. I think if we can get her back to that, that's a win for her.
That's my least favorite Alexa Bliss.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really is.
Serious.
Really is.
I would have thought that. Well, yeah, you didn't get like the whole Lily doll and
Stupid. Didn't like it.
stuff like that. Yeah. So we kind of got more from the post match there with the video.
Again, kind of like the main event.
You know, than there was really with the match.
I feel like that story's going to continue into this next match.
Yeah. Into the next previous match, Bray Wyatt defeating LA Knight, 5 minutes and 5 seconds, which I feel really is kind of, and then you had like the post match stuff. So it was probably about 10 minutes in
that
total.
Post match
is
was the
where it
better
was at.
stuff. Yeah.
That's I think that's your perfect window for Bray Wyatt. If
Now, Mark, you tasted the Mountain Dew, correct? You're
The Mountain Dew, the pitch was
pitch
it?
black.
Pitch Black.
Pitch
Did you
Black.
like it?
I liked it. It had a lot of fruit juice in it.
The Mountain Dew.
It had no fruit juice.
I noticed after, like, because you were coughing a little bit earlier, you drank the pitch black, and your cough has seemed to subside.
It went away.
Are
just
you
that.
allergic to the ingredients of Pitch Black?
I very well may be, but the fruit juice won't hurt anybody.
Fruit juice.
Yeah.
Fruit juice.
First off, so the pitch black, kind of a grapish flavor. I enjoyed it I drank it all while it was cold. I know.
Least favorite Mountain Dew that I've ever drank.
I don't like Baja Blast.
Wow.
You're
a monster.
I mean, you're allowed to be
That's
wrong.
fair. It's
Because when you go to Taco Bell, you just get. Well, you used to get Mountain Dew. Now you get Diet Pepsi.
I was a Mountain Dew loyalist. I wanted just Mountain Dew. They brought out Code Red. It was the first one. It was okay. But beyond that, I haven't liked another Mountain Dew.
So and
It was
because
the orange can. That was the worst.
Oh yeah, it's the
Orange can was
The
the
Pitch
worst.
Black is the worst.
The Pitch Black is probably worse than that. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't tried.
Sips, I was like, all right.
And you don't, because of your former loyalty, and now you're kind of a diet.
I don't like.
zero,
I don't like.
You don't
zero
like
sugar
the diet or the
at
zero
all.
sugar Mountain Dew.
Not
See,
at
I'm not a Mountain Dew loyalist. I actually do enjoy the zero sugar Mountain Dew.
I mean, if I drank it enough, maybe. Because I also enjoyed Coke a lot,
Yeah.
and I will only drink Coke Zero or Diet. I could do Diet Coke, but I prefer Coke Zero.
But the post match, so obviously we had the glowing lights and all. I thought the visual presentation for this was pretty good.
Had the lasers going.
Had the lasers, and kudos to both Bray and LA Knight for wearing gear that obviously
They had the fireworks going outside the stadium too.
which was
so
super
weird.
cool and totally didn't make
I'd
sense
be
at all.
pissed if I lived near that arena
Yeah, I was
having those
probably-
fireworks all night.
Oh my gosh, it was
Dogs would be
horrible,
upset.
Dogs
horrible.
would be upset.
But the post match there, we saw Uncle Howdy come off the scaffolding or whatever and 100% land,
Elbow drop the stage.
100% land 6 feet away from LA Knight. I mean, the match was fine. The post match was better. I'm curious to see where we go from here.
Yeah, I don't think Howdy believed that he was going to hit him. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think that's what it.
Mark
Howdy.
pointed out the entrances. You saw the characters during the Bray Wyatt entrance. You also saw them at the very end on the top of that scaffolding after Howdy dropped.
They were a little scary.
They were scary. Put your kids to bed.
There's the bed.
Mark wet his pants.
Well, it's a good thing I'm wearing darks.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we have a 4-hour pay-per-view,
Sorry
and
about the couch, Jim.
it's all right. It happens. All right, let's go then to the opener. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 42 seconds. Cody Rhodes eliminates Gunther to win the men's Royal Rumble match. Let me find some of the stats here. Gunther and Cody Rhodes both led in eliminations with 5 each.
Okay, good for you.
Gunther went bell to bell, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 42 seconds. Sheamus went 52:30. He was the second longest in the ring. Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar each had 3 eliminations. Seth freaking Rollins, Finn Balor, and Edge, the returning Edge, each had 2 eliminations. I thought, I mean, obviously this was the story of the returning hero, Cody Rhodes, coming back after the injury, now getting his chance. But I thought, I really think a lot more, and what we could be seeing beyond this, I think was a Gunther showcase. I think Triple H sees more in Gunther than Vince McMahon probably did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think coming out of this, the Intercontinental Championship still on his waist, but I think there's potential for even bigger things for Gunther.
Jim, Gunther's almost a body guy now, though. Vince
Yeah,
might
which is wild.
Vince might be leaning into Gunther.
Well, it doesn't matter. Vince is.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But yeah, he could be.
Gunther today is much more of a
Much
Vince McMahon
different
guy
than
a-
Baby Huey, as
Yes.
Tim refers to him.
This was his coming out, though. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Question.
for sure.
He's out.
He's way out.
And I was trying to think, right? Like, because when it came down to Cody and Gunther, I don't know if we've ever seen that that long of a quote unquote match
I
between
think that's called the match beyond.
the match beyond.
It was like a war game.
War games. I don't think we've seen the last two competitors go that long one-on-one that I can remember, at least in a very long time.
No, not. I don't think they ever did.
Nothing that rings a bell anyway.
No, and I think that builds to the drama. I mean, we all.
Aside from the time Cena and Batista had to re-go in the ring.
And Vince had to put his quads back in his
Yes,
legs.
that happened.
He kicked the quads out of his quads.
Yeah, I feel like the longer it went, though, the longer I kind of was like, oh, maybe they will roll the dice with Gunther. We saw them roll the dice with Oates and like the briefcase, and that wasn't great.
Old Oates.
But Otis, is not Gunther in this time.
Right.
Cody still has a path to get to Reigns, so why not? Why not do Gunther? It could have happened. I'd have believed it. I wouldn't have been upset if Gunther won.
No, I thought Gunther.
I think the crowd would have been really hot for that too.
I think the crowd would have been. Yeah, they would expect something, and you give them something else.
Yeah. It would have. Nobody would have seen it coming. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a great way to start the show. I mean, when Cody didn't come in at 1, I'm like, he's probably in at 30 then at that point, because I don't think you're just going to throw him in randomly at 19. I was kind of surprised the crowd didn't start chanting for Cody more from between 29 and 30. Like, I thought who was the 29th?
Logan Paul.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So there was a surprise return.
I mean,
there.
it could have been Madcap Moss.
It could have been. Rey Mysterio never entered.
Never did.
By the way.
The match is still technically not over.
That's true. That's true. Well, the bell did ring, so I guess it is over.
Right,
they declared it over.
Yeah, he has been disqualified from the match.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good way to start I think it's the theme of the night when you look at the results. Cody wins, Bray wins, Bianca wins, Rhea wins, Roman wins. All the finishes were predictable.
Yeah.
But overall, and maybe that's where we'll end here. We did about a half an hour. Let's grade it. Intern Mark, we'll start with you. What's your grade for the 2023 Royal Rumble?
You know what? I would give it an A+ if it wasn't for that performance by Ed Hardy. He always stick to designing clothing. I think it was an A show for me. I'm going to give it an A.
All right.
A.
All right. Ryan, how about you?
I think that's a little generous. We saw the start of a lot of roads to WrestleMania. I think with Bray Wyatt,
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania.
The Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania. I think with Bray Wyatt, we saw the end of a feud, and we're going to start seeing him now build towards something toward WrestleMania. Like you said, I think all of the outcomes, whether predictable or not, lay the roads that we're going to be traveling for the next few weeks on the fast lane to WrestleMania.
Meep.
I think it's a B, solid B.
All right, Matt.
I would also give it a B. I like the direction they're going with a lot of stuff. I think the Brock and Bobby thing will be fun. Whether they do that at WrestleMania or an Elimination Chamber.
Bobby.
I think we have some good stuff based off of what we all think the direction is after the main event. So it was a good build. The matches that weren't the main event or the Rumble matches were just kind of okay, which is why I wouldn't give it an A. So a B show is fine.
Yeah, I'll go. I won't go. I won't go full intern Mark on this one. I will go B+ because I think the return of Cody was kind of as expected. You had sprinkled in a little surprise with Gunther, and his showing out. The Rhea surprising. Happy she went bell to bell. A little bit of a surprise with that. I think there was a little bit of fear in our room with. We thought maybe Liv Morgan was going to win there at the end, and a fun way to finish that one. And then the post-match stuff, again, when you're talking storyline on that level that they were telling with the Bloodline is enough to take it from that B to a plus. Because I think that the biggest points, coming out of the Royal Rumble, your biggest points are getting on the road to WrestleMania, and you have two great Rumble winners, and you have a lot of drama and storyline coming out of that. Universal title match. So that takes it up to the plus. Yeah, the two other matches were there. They filled time. Horrible musical performance. But and for no reason, because I think, Ryan, you had seen like a tweet that said like they thought they saw somebody go underneath the ring. So it's like out the whole time I'm waiting for something to happen and nothing.
I think that was from the Blue Meanie, and I mean he's right. You throw a distraction,
sure,
easy to sneak somebody under. You were not going to put the fucking Rock under there,
right. And so you take all the ropes off to have a bad musical performance just to put him back on and clear the. It just, and especially when on the East. I mean, it was what 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
That Dollar Tree Kid Rock was on my TV playing a terrible song. Like it just there's no reason to do that.
Unnecessary.
Awful.
Really unnecessary.
I will point out too that the us rooting against Liv was not a knock on Liv Morgan, but more so that EJ had her in the pool that we were all in, and we did not want EJ to have any success.
Yeah.
We don't want
Congratulations
EJ to have any
to was it Other Jim?
Yeah, Other Jim. The two Jims won the Rumble pools.
Yeah, I took,
which is fine because EJ did not.
Yeah,
that's true,
and that's all that matters. When EJ loses, we all win.
I feel like I won $50 just because of that.
I feel $50 richer knowing that.
Absolutely. But I was going to wrap it up here. Just wanted to get some thoughts down in the immediate reaction. We'll have more discussion about the Royal Rumble with Tim and the whole crew on Thursday night, of course, and then with anything that happens on Raw, we'll touch on that as well. So make sure you are subscribed if you're not already to the podcast feed. We have a great show coming on Tuesday. And then we will be back live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin.